Hey guys, how you doing? Welcome to this month's episode of monthly session with Dr. Cosmas Maduka. We had so much issues. We normally come every 10th of every month, but it was difficult to do that this month. At some point, his page was pulled down, needed some verification. And so we had to handle that verification issue, and then to now find a new date has been extremely difficult. In fact, Dr. Cosmos just arrived from Anambra. He just arrived from Anambra this night just for this event. Um, so, and that's why a lot of us should appreciate the time, he always dedicates, for this event. It's not been an easy one, but as a father who cares and wants to impact the next generation, he has always figured out a way to create the time to give back to the next generation. So, ladies and gentlemen, celebrate Dr. Cosmas Maduka. How are you, sir?
I'm fine, Stephen. How are you? So sorry about these challenges this evening. Eventually,
No.
Joshua coming to intervene in all of the challenges. It's a pleasure again being with you this evening.
Yeah, you are looking younger today. Did you just have a haircut or something?
I went to have a haircut because it's been so bushy. I haven't find time to do it, so I eventually had to go and get a hot cut. Get me the other. Okay.
Oh,
I had a haircut, so it looks a little bit more better than.
Exactly. You look very younger. In fact, someone would think it's a younger brother.
Thank you. Thank you. I wish I remain young forever. It's easier said than.
Okay, so this month we're looking at handling business challenges and overcoming indebtedness. The economy has been tough. A lot of businesses are struggling. Sales are not always as they used to be. And some people are facing personal indebtedness, some are facing business indebtedness, and we felt let's use this month to address that topic. So, welcome once again. Let's have your opening words. What is your opening remark before we start taking questions?
Yeah, Stephen, thank you very much, and welcome everyone on the line now. And I want to apologize again that we couldn't do this on the 10th, and we came back to tell you we are doing it today. Just like Dr. Stephen must explain, I spoke yesterday at when and catch some funeral at Anambra State. 4 o'clock flight became 7 o'clock. Unfortunately, they are still fixing the tire of my jet, so it's not yet arrived. So I have to at the airport under their mercy. We arrived here after 9, after 8, after 9, yeah, because we are supposed to be speaking by 9 o'clock. So because we didn't get to leave on time, regrettably, we are here. The topic we are discussing this evening is one also that is dear to my heart because we are going through supposedly challenging time in our country. But to be very honest, what makes business interesting is like situations like this, because if you really look at it, our life, if it runs flat, we are dead. So the way we live is that the system of our heart goes up and come down, and that shows you are alive. So it takes situations like this to test the life of your business. It can never be flat. So situations like this create opportunity for growth, create opportunity for innovation, create opportunity for test of strength, create opportunity to tighten up the loose ends part of your business, because this situation we are going through obviously is going to create multi-billionaires in Nigeria. Some businesses are going to close, and there's no vacuum in life. Some other person who had better managed and prepare will suck up those business opportunity. Whereas some will close door, some will use this as a metamorphosis and become much greater and a bigger organization. So what it requires really is to manage well. The essence of God creating a man is about management. So people who manage well at this time are people who are going to take the future opportunity that business provide. Let me say it clearly that tough time never lasts. What lasts is tough people. So if you are tough, this is going to be an incubator to strengthen you for even more future challenge that you are going to meet and take it. So part of the things we call crisis, if you use that word exactly and interpret it in Chinese or Japanese language, what it means is opportunity. In every crisis lies opportunity. It's just how prepared you are to take on those opportunities and convert them into great wealth out of it. But a man with weak mindset, when situations comes like this, it's easy to cry and say, where do we go from here? Okay? Instead of planning, you panic. Situations like you don't panic, but you plan. Because the same energy and strength you use to panic, you can use it to, channel it properly and plan and be much more constructive and deliver on a better result. I think I would rather not speak much this evening, but take questions, specific questions that are bogging the mind of the people, especially because we are starting very late. I could talk a little more detail, but many of you have had me at a very difficult many times. We all live in this economy, but I tell you, whenever situations like this present itself, because nobody had monopoly. There are competitors I usually have who also try to, once in a while, go to Dubai to bring some of the things I have. Wherever there's a foreign exchange crisis and all of that, some of them mismanage it because they lose money. They won't find a way to pay their suppliers. For not paying their suppliers, they jeopardize the relationship. So each time this crisis happen, it like wither down most of the first time or incomers trying to put in and disturb me. So for people like me, I get more strengthened. I vacuum more of the business opportunity because I don't mind how much loss I made. I will take the haircut like I just cut my hair and make sure I keep my commitment, situation with my principal, and that continues to strengthen me as a person. So it's a mindset. It's not like I don't face the same challenge, but I didn't see crisis. I see opportunity in every situation. So it depends on what you are looking for and how prepared you are to plan to know that it will be. Because life is about phases. Those of us who understand kingdom principle and read it from the word of God understood that Genesis chapter 8 says, as long as this earth remains, there will be a seed time, a harvest time, winter and summer. So life is about life is about life is all about outlasting seasons, because there's going to be a season of summer. You can't live and say the entire life will be summer. Because if you also understood that Ecclesiastes 3 says, for everything under the sun, for how many things? For everything.
Yeah.
There will be a time and there is a season. So, good time never lasts forever, because he went down to break it down. Time to gather, time to scatter, time to burn, time to die, time to have plenty time. So everything have a season. So if you understood how life operates, you know that when there is winter, the shortest moment of the year, you now begin to know that after that winter, the best season of life will appear, and that is spring, where the weather is not hot. It's not hot July or August sun, not scorching, not cold, not cool, not frozen, but cool and normal, life bruising. You like it, from there it metamorphoses into summer. Then it starts raining, good weather, you go out, you are not, it's not frozen, but that's not the time to throw away your winter jacket, because after that, there will be fall, and you begin to witness from that hot season that the weather is getting cold, some evening frozen before it gets into the deep winter. So life is at this strength to manage to outlast its season. So in the season of plenty, you don't say there's never going to be scarcity. So you put some reserve. You make some arrangement to be able to outlast the season of the winter. And then know that that winter is only 4 months of the year. So before it gets better, it almost gets worse. So if you understand this, you can live a normal life, because that's how life is, all in phases and seasons. So people like us, when we see each of these seasons, we gladly receive them and try the best we can to outlast them, and they will expire, and then another season comes up.
Wow. Come on, guys. Can we give it up? Give it up for Dr. Cosmas. That's a powerful breakdown. Winter, good season will never last, and bad season will also never last, right? So you must be prepared. I remember somebody was asking me here in Houston, say, how do you experience dry season? And if you do, how do you manage it? I said, I've built myself to just be normal in all season.
Yeah.
I'm not over excited in good season. I'm not over sad in bad season. I'm just normal in all seasons. So we have to build stamina for that.
Yeah.
Today we'll be giving you guys opportunity to both ask your question. I'll pull you up so you can ask your question by texting it in the question box. You see a question mark icon. You can type it. You can also send a request for me to pull you up and you ask your question directly. However, the rule is once I pull you up, you ask your question, immediately be willing to exit so that we can bring up the next person, okay? Let's see how many questions we can take. By the way, what is ABRO, ABRO? So the person says, this is how did you partner with ABRO? Yes, before we take the person.
ABRO is a company that is based somewhere in South Bend, Indiana. I work with them now in fact, the first year I started working with them, they represent some manufacturing company in USA. They don't manufacture, but they are like export company who export different countries in the world. So their strength is to go to one manufacturer and buy in a very large, bulky, and get a concessional price that if you go there buying one container, you cannot get, because they will be throwing thousands of containers against your one container. So you are better off buying from them, and then they just create market around the world. So I worked with them the first year I worked with them, and we closed that year basically with $75,000 business. But by 2013, I did $65 million with them. Basically, today I've done over $1 billion worth of transactions with them. They used to have their number one customer in Dubai. I explained to the managing director of Apro that I will be their number one customer in the world. He didn't believe me. By 2013, I hit that, and consistently we have remained their number one customer in the world. We do business with them here in Nigeria. We do business with them in Ghana. We do business with them in Ivory Coast, in Gabon, and recently in Sierra Leone. So last 2 years ago, we partner to start producing some of the product here in Nigeria. So we have a factory after Mowe by Express Road. Now we are producing some of those products here in Nigeria. Yeah.
Wow. Guys, please don't drop your question in the chat box. Put your question where you will see a question mark icon. Click on it and type your question there. Else, I will not be able to answer a lot of other comments coming in. BM Bello says, how much is needed for your property unit in Houston? Can someone without U.S. resident permit buy? So BM Bello, send me a DM. Yes, you can buy our properties even if you're not in US. But send a DM, we'll give you the details on that. My team will reply you. Yes, we have the first person asking a question in person. Can you put on your video and ask your question? Fox, are you there? Hello, Fox. This is what I'm saying. If you join us, put on your video, ask your question, and then you can exit so we can bring the next person. So Fox, pull her up, and I don't know why she is not asking her question.
I hope our internet is not misbehaving.
Yeah, and sometimes if she doesn't exit, I won't be able to bring somebody else up. The promoter says your book Trials to Tribulations. How can we get it in Canada? Isn't available on Amazon Canada.
It's in Amazon, but just that you have to pay maybe $30 or so. But if you buy them in Nigeria, you pay 3,500 naira. So you just need to choose where you want to buy. But it's in Amazon. You can also buy it in Amazon. Okay. It's not Trials and Tribulation. It's from Trials to Triumph.
So Trials to Triumph, not Trials to Tribulation. I think that's the reason why you're not getting it. Trials to Triumph by Cosmas Maduka.
I think it's written by Ambassador Odon.
I think that's the issue. Yeah. It's Ambassador Odon, that's the reason. Well, I want to work with Dr. Cosmas on his next book. How many of you think I should do that? I want to work with him on his next book. I think it's very much needed. How many of you want to see a new book from Dr. Cosmas? Come on, let's hear. Let's be sure that we have enough people. I will get my team to him in 1 month to have a new book out, because I feel there's a lot that still needs to come out aside that book? It's a lot. Dr. Cosmas is an encyclopedia. Right?
That's the book here.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's From Trials to Triumph, the Koshari story.
Yes. Okay. Somebody. So, guys, give us. So, Ambassador Udo is what to check. If you don't check Cosmos, because if you check, he's not the author. Ambassador Udo is the one to check when you're searching on Amazon for the book. But guys, I want you to give me title for the next book I should work on with Dr. Cosmos on. Some of these our live chats will even be part of what we transcribe into the book as well, because we've seen it.
Fine, and some of my messages here, so can just tune them up. It's Ambassador Odo Williams, so you find
Ambassador Udo Williams
on Amazon. Yeah.
So check it, Ambassador Udo Williams on Amazon.
Yeah.
Trial to Triumph. So you can buy it now.
Yeah.
Yeah. So next, let me see. Next person is ready to ask questions. Remember, I'll pull you up to ask your question. Vivian Blue says, "How do you overcome business debts? You didn't incur yourself, but came as a result of failed transaction, or now I have to refund my clients with money that I don't even have." Okay, so how do you overcome business indebtedness? In our case, she didn't borrow money. I experienced this in 2012 too. She didn't borrow money. It was just a case of people want refund over one or two challenges she probably has with her partners. So how does she overcome that? Hello, are you there?
Yes, I'm with you.
So Vivian Blue, how do you overcome business debts you didn't incur yourself, but came as a result of failed transaction? Now you have to refund clients with money that I don't even have.
Well, it's difficult to say, because if you are dedicated to the transactions, then you have to stay true to it, because it's the first test of your integrity. So it depends on how did that debt occur, because you cannot say it's not to incur. If you stood in for the person who made that transaction, it's your obligation, and you have to stay true to it. You mustn't have all the money to pay. We can walk you through how to go about it, because your whole life and integrity for future people taking a chance on you lies on it. But because if you say you are not obligated, that means you are not. Of course, if you are not a partner and you did not guarantee that loan, then nobody will come after you. But if you're a partner of that business, you can't say you don't know how it come about. So there are more to it you will like to tell me, because it's either you have obligation or you do not have obligation.
Yes, absolutely. So I think you need to give us more context so that the answer can be, we can give you a more direct answer. But yes, you can agree on a flexible payment plan. I still have one of our subsidiaries that I was having meeting with before I joined this call. And I told her, I said, you know what, call the clients, break down how you're going to be paying, tell them to give you more time. If you guys don't have the funds yet, ask them for more time and then you pay. But you have to pay. A debt is a debt, and it has a lot to do with your integrity over time. Vivian Blue says I request to be brought up so I can ask the question direct. Okay, the person who is on, can you face the camera and tell us your question, or you can exit so that we can bring other people, please. Hello. So again, warning, once we bring you up, please can you exit? Let the person exit if you can't come up. Make sure you have good internet. Make sure you have light facing you so
That is
that
correct.
you are looking bright, and be ready to ask your question as soon as we ask you to ask. But please, as soon as you ask, exit so that we can give room for other people. We don't have all the time. So Onilade says, with the current inflation and economic downtime and high interest rates, is it good time to take on borrow from the bank for investment?
No, I will explain. It's subject to what kind of business you are going into. But frankly speaking, I don't know how many business will be able to take 40% interest. Let's be very, very frank. If your business is not very healthy, to go loan money today, the worst when you say invest and put it into speculating kind of thing is this easiest and simplest way to commit financial suicide. So I can borrow today if I were you on a sealed transaction. And that, what do I mean by sealed transaction? If I have contract from somebody like Stephen Akintayo to say, supply me uh, uh, 10,000 blocks or 1 million pieces of block, a credible company, I am sure it will pay. I calculate the interest rate put into it, and I'm able to discount that interest rate and find profit. That's the only way to borrow. So, and you now look at it that from the date I borrow from Stephen, by 3 months, minimum 4 months cycle, I will close this transaction and get paid. But if you are dealing with a guy you are not sure what their payment terms is, and you have focused that this transaction will take 3 months and you didn't get paid in 6 months, it could be a loss transaction, because any extra 1 month you carry 40% drain away whatever you expect to have. Today, bank lend you money 32, 33, 34% plus all the other charges, put it net about 40%. I can't see how many business where you expect return on investment on a 40%. So it's only going to be used for specific transaction, and that is to say, it's just going to be like transactional, but not for a long-term business. That will be what I will advise for things like that.
Okay, great. Again, those of you asking questions in the chat box, don't put your question in the chat box. Put it in the Q&A box. You will see an icon like this. Type your question there. Helps. It will be difficult for me to be able to read your questions. More questions keep dropping there. Goody Okechukwu says, please, when is Dr. Maduka coming to London for a business event? I'll be delighted to organize it. Okay.
Yeah, well, I think Stephen have different Leo show and things like that. If there's anyone he had for UK, I'll be glad to be there. If I haven't met you and I don't have link, we can just start coming to London for you to organize a business things for me.
Exactly.
It doesn't work like that. So there must be a relationship and that do exist to understand. You definitely appreciate and understand what my time, what I'm going to be doing there. It's not all invitations that I receive that I honor. So you can keep in touch with Stephen and convince him the reason, if there's comparison. As I speak to you now, I'm speaking in Pakistan on the 19th, 20th of December. I'll be speaking in Dubai on the 25th, 26th, 27th. I'll be speaking in Zimbabwe on the 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th of December. So I do go speak to different places. I'll be speaking in Japan on the 14th of January. So, but it has to be clear what the reason why I need to be there, not just to just come to speak, or what the basis has to be clear and understood and accepted. Yeah.
So send me a DM. I'm the unofficial manager for Dr. Cosmas when it comes to when it comes to speaking engagements.
On
I'll be getting
level. Yeah.
I'll be getting tons and tons. Everybody wants me to link them with Dr. Cosmas.
Yeah.
And sometimes I even advise some people, and this is an open advice. When you hear him coming to speak at an event I'm organizing, others are organizing, I think it's the best place to meet him.
That's correct.
Because some people just want me to give them Dr. Cosmos' number and they should call him. I'm not like, it doesn't work like that. I can't just, it's good maybe you meet him at an event and then I too will now say, oh, I know you. And then you build up that relationship from there. So I hope this helps some people who think I don't want to link them to
Register
him.
for our Houston event coming next year, which I have already committed to be interested, or some other thing that can.
Yeah. So that's true. Let me even mention that you guys may want to come next year, August. We are hosting Dr. Cosmos in Houston. So send me a DM right now. You can register on time so that there's enough time for you to plan and be there. And what's beautiful about that event is very easy. I mean, people had access to him directly. Some ate with him. I mean, it was a no hold bar, very easy conversation. And I think those are places you want to come and learn. So take advantage of that, okay? So tell us your name and your question, straight to your question, your full name and what you do, and straight to your question. Go ahead.
Okay, so my name is Vivian Ifeanyi, and I'm a property manager in the shortlet business space. And I've been in this business for over 4 years plus. Next year will make it 5 years in this business. And I can tell you for a fact that I've built my experiences and I'm so good at what I do. Okay. So this indebtedness I'm talking about is not something I intentionally incurred. It's something that happened because a client, paid for an apartment. And like I said, I've been in the shortlet business for a while and I'm a property manager. Most of my properties are not listed because the owners are coming back to Nigeria this December. So I had to outsource properties for my clients. So in the process of outsourcing, I would say I mistakenly paid into a fraudulent account. So now I have to pay a sum of 2.5 million naira that I didn't even incur on my own. And I have a limited time from now to the end of November to get this sorted out. So I'm in a very tight spot, really running out of my mind. And I really don't know how to. This is the first business that I've ever incurred in my close to 5 years of doing business. And I really don't know how to navigate out of it. I'm losing sleep, basically, because of this situation.
Okay. I think I understand what you are saying. I know it could be difficult because if you are not working with a corporation, you are working with an individual. The first thing is that everybody suspects you that you are dishonest. You haven't had any track record with the person. But the worst thing that do happen to people is when you owe people or you have a situations like this, one of the best thing you will do is to make yourself available. Take the person's call. Don't even wait for the person to call you. Call him every 2 other days and said, I want to still register to tell you that I knew I'm owing you, which is no fault of yours, but take my word for it that I'm committed to paying this money. Oh, the person threatened you, I'm going to put you in police tomorrow, I'm going to put you in prison. You are talking rubbish if you don't bring the money. You tell him, I appreciate you have all the right to be angry with me, but the truth is that even if you put me in prison, it will not bring the money. I'll go to prison. Unfortunately, until I'm released in prison, you will succeed to have damaged a young lady that have a bright future. And it's only when I come out of prison that we begin to think about where do I get money to pay you. But if you are patient with me and you don't need to call me, I will call you. I'll work hard. These are the plans I have. Give me the next 3 months. I may not pay the money in bulk. Give me the next 6 months. Whatever I have, I pay you. And I plan to pay this money. If I could pay it faster, I would do. One of the worst things people do is to say, I'm under pressure. Somebody who is owing you, you said, I'm busy. I cannot take your call. The more you run, the more the person pursue you and put pressure on you. Because this is really the topic. The question you are asking is what we are supposed to be discussing today.
Yeah.
The way to manage when you owe people is to show up every time. You can't avoid, even if you have a baby is crying and you're there to call, pick the call. Hello, sir. Good afternoon. This is Lillian Efani on the line. My baby is crying, but I can't afford to miss your call. That's why I take it. Can I take care of him and call you back, or you want me to go ahead? He said, get out, drop your baby, don't drop your baby. He said, yes, sir, I'm listening to you. The only person you can bluff and said, I don't want you to disturb my life is somebody you are not owing. If you are owing somebody, if you call you 10 times, you have obligation to take the call 10 times. Once you start doing that, I'm telling you on my honor, his anger will begin to reduce. He will begin to say, even though this guy is owing me, but he has shown responsibility that is not common, the way he had managed this situation. As a matter of fact, if somebody who is well-to-do, by the time you call him the 8th or the 10th time, he tell you, please, you are disturbing me. Stop, don't call my car. I will be the person to call you. But if he called you once and you didn't pick, he will get debt recovering agent to call you. Who has no other job but call you every 5 minutes or 10 minutes, and your life will be worse. But if you show up and continue to call and reaffirm you are committed, tell him, if you like, record me. I'm not running away from this debt. It was a mistake, it's an error, but I accept full responsibility. And I'm working hard seriously. If I can get more, if I can be more focused I can pay this money in a shortest period of time.
Yeah.
All of us go through this.
All of us.
And I'm telling you by experience that the worst thing you would do is to have any reason to feel disturbed or bettered by somebody you are indebted to. That would be a wrong thing. I'm not saying this now to tell you people that I am wealthy. There are few individuals I advanced money because I trusted them on my honor. One person was about $1.8 million. Another person was about $2.8 million. Another one was, they have not paid. But one of them called me and gave me assurance how hard it's working. He has sent me about $650. He has sent me about $800 and something thousand. This month again, he sent me today. I got a telex transfer of $650,000 from him, and he told me he's working. the last time I discussed with him, I said, you've shown responsibility. And I can assure you that even though you agreed to have paid this money in March, you didn't pay it and you are making effort. But the way you've shown responsibility, I won't stop doing business with you if you finish paying this money. I will give you another. I may not give you a transaction of $3 million, but I may start break it down to 500,000, because to build you up and to show you that I appreciate you. You made mistake, but you are committed. I like the spirit of the way it is. I don't know how many other people you owe, but there are people who said, I put you in EFCC, I do this. In my vernacular,
this is literally my first. That's why I'm freaking out.
The commitment a debtor made and keep is a good commitment. I've also owe people, but what I try to do is to negotiate even a more longer time so that I can exceed your expectation. Like to say, please, the way this thing is today, I do not think I can pay you earlier than 6 months. But before 6 months, if I can pay the person in 3 months or 4 months, you have gained his confidence more, that he can give you a benefit of doubt even in future, understanding there was an error or a mistake. So it's about, that's what life is all about, management. You can manage your debt, you can mismanage it, but if you can make a commitment that you did on a consistent basis and clear it, that would be wonderful. And a serious person will actually thank you when you eventually pay that money. He will, even though you owe him, but he will come back and say thank you very much. Because there are many debts we have that we can never recover. Even you put the person in the EFCC, beating Koboko, did all of this. It can't turn the person to money. So when people owe you money by any means that they are not keeping somewhere, you can only put pressure on somebody who divert your money, and you know by much pressure he will take the money out from where he kept it to pay you. But if you are whipping at somebody who lost money, you are using good money to pursue bad one, but the one you go to court or you go to police, because the only thing you can do is to succeed to put the person in prison. But that doesn't give you money, and you still, if you have conscience, you also feel you have ruined some people's future and didn't give them a chance. I don't know if that makes sense.
I mean, it absolutely makes sense. I mean, I'm in the real estate sector, so a few advice I will give you is, number one, look at the business you are doing. If you can expand your chances of making more money. So you are currently in the short-let business. Can you also sell land? Can you also sell, off-plan houses? Can you also sell secondary market housing? So that as you promise him a longer time, you have increased your source of revenue, right? If you leave it at just this short-let business alone, and thank God this is the season for short-let. I mean, people are coming for Christmas, for New Year, so your income should grow this season. But you can also add other sector like land selling, house selling, so that you increase the money that can come to you this period, and then you can pay. Also, make sure you analyze how much do you normally make every month. So part of it you commit to giving him. I had a situation similar to yours. I used to represent a university in Ukraine, and we told the client no refund, but we did not sign agreement, and the university did not give them admission. Now, the processing fee, we have used it to pay DHL, to pay this. So I don't have the money. We pay salary. I don't have the money. And then when they didn't get admission, they started chasing me. And then I used to even pastor. I remember I was pastoring my zone. A police officer sat behind me, brought out his ID card, and said we should go out. So, and I'm saying this to encourage you so that you know that those of us you see, we've been through a lot. We
Through
didn't
a
just
different
jump
things.
here, you know.
It feels good to
So,
hear this,
I,
you know.
yes.
That
So I
to know
came
that
out
your
with
seniors also
the
have experienced something like this.
yes, we have. So we came out. I came out with him. My, deacons in church, and I was the pastor for that branch. So they noticed something was wrong. So they came out, and then the man introduced himself. They said, "You can't go with our pastor. You know what? Come back on Thursday, right? We will see how we can settle the matter." So after the police officer left, they told me, they said, "Look, anything you can sell, anything you can sell." And it's one of the reasons why I so cherish my wife today. Her mother had given us a laptop that I was using. We had to go and sell that laptop in Computer Village for 15,000 naira. So added some money. I only had 25,000 naira. And then when they came back, we said, "This is what we have for now." And thank God, again, I was a young pastor, but my sisters were older. They were way older than me. So they understand. For me, it was the first time I was experiencing something like that. So they broke it down and said, "Look, this is what he can give you now. Every month, he'll be giving you 5,000 naira." I mean, this was 200,000. And the man shouted, 5,000 for what? Yeah. Well, that is what he can give you, and we settle for that. You won't believe it. God opened heavens. 2 months or 3 months later, I paid all of it at once.
Yeah.
All at once. So we've been through this. We didn't jump here, and and as you rise, we still face different dimension of challenges in business. So relax. That's the first thing. Relax, calm down, because if you continue to be apprehensive like this, the idea to generate the
Sure.
income, like Dr. Cosmos said, will not come. You just be panicking, you're in trouble, you're worried, So calm down, talk to the client, apologize what happened, open up, be transparent. They will call you names. Then you got the pastor. In fact, because of that, I stopped using pastor title. Most of you didn't know I'm an ordained pastor. I can't, I don't do business with me for who I am. Don't even do business because I'm a Christian, right? Because I hated the fact that the guy kept tormenting me and saying, "You call yourself a pastor, give me my money, give me my money."
Yeah. What kind of pastor are you?
Exactly. What kind of forwarded
What kind
pastor?
of pastor?
He
It's
kept
life. It
tormenting
happens.
me. Yeah. So relax, you'll be fine.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I really appreciate this conversation. It has really boosted my morals, and also I would really attack it as I should. Thank you so much. I appreciate. Thank you.
And it's a big experience. Tomorrow in future, you are going to give a testimony to somebody. You will use this to the same way we are talking now. Somebody will same experience, and you will tell him, "I've been through it." When I tell people that landlord had kicked me out of house in my life, nobody will ever believe that Koshari's old landlord. I did, and I couldn't. Both my shop and my office were under siege. When I know what it means to live with an angry landlord. I thought I couldn't face him. When I hid, I thought he would listen to my boy and go. It was when he decided to lock me inside where I was hiding that I came out. Because if he locked the door and take the key, then that is a prison. I came out thinking he would change his mind because he still pulled me out and locked me out. So I've gone through that. But he helped me to know how to manage things in the field. I don't use the word people fail. Many people like to use the word people fail.
Yeah.
The word I use is learning curve,
Yes, it's a learning phase.
So I don't use the word fail. I say learning, it's a mistake you learn because you have no intention to go through that. But it builds your character, it builds your experience, your maturity to face life.
Okay.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
Good night.
So let's take the next one. Thank you for this platform and insights discussion. It's inspirational to hear from experts and captain of industry. My name is Toluwashe, managing a startup pharmacy and mini mart.
Okay.
What fundamental elements ensure a strong, scalable structure?
Very important. You need to have a good financial system and inventory management, because the things you are handling are easily fulfilling. If you don't know how many things you keep in your inventory and be able to properly scale out and know how they are moving, you can lose revenue and that you cannot control. So you need to get some simple software to manage your inventory. Inventory management is a key to such business for success, for sustainability and scaling up.
Okay, so I hope you learned from that. Next is Mazi Clean. Good evening, Dr. Cosmos. As a young entrepreneur who is married with 2 kids, how do I manage growing my startup, which still needs capital, and still save from same business?
There's no magic about it. It's about sitting down and do home economics. What do I need? Not what do I want? What do I need? The rule of opportunity cost still remain the same. Your priority is your wife and children. That's why sometimes I tell people you are better off to take a chance in life and risk without a wife. So when you have a wife, in addition you have a child, children, or a child or children, then your child is going to grow teeth. During the time of growing teeth, he has to fall sick. You can't tell the child there's no money. So sometimes people take this pressure that make them kill themselves. So one of the great, I married as a young man at the age of 19 plus 20, and I wanted a son at 21. If I want to be very honest, God was kind to me, because between 20 and 21, I run bankruptcy. If I had had a baby at that time, my life would be much more devastating, because I can't even be in a best composition of mind. But God shut the womb. Many times we said God didn't answer our prayer. No, all things work together for good to them that love God. My first son came at 26, but I became US dollar millionaire at 24. So by the time he come, I was comfortable. Things were not that bad. But between 2021, I was kicked out of my house. I carry weighing scale and all of that. So if I have had a baby, it would have been much more devastating for my wife, because when things at that critical position, my wife does her certificate and went to get a job to support me while I was struggling to find my feet. If he has a baby, he can't even go get that job because he had to manage the baby and manage. So many times people said, get a wife, get a wife. No, God never gave Adam a wife without giving him a job. You need to, the first thing he gave a man was a walk, and said, walk, protect the garden. And Adam did it too well and master it. And God said, okay, let me train you small. And got all the animal and say, activate your brain and name them. When the man proved that to be expert, it's okay, we give you a wife. You can do all of this well. So because the man already have a job, so he said, I will give you a helpmate, somebody who will come and support you. You know, I will equip her and bring her to help you actualize your dream that you have shared with her. She'll be telling you, you say God told you this, go for it, you will do it. She will continue to support you. So the worst thing that happened to a woman is if she shows up in your life to help you, and you are supposed to be doing something, and when she comes, you are doing nothing. You put confusion in her head, because if she can't help you, she start helping herself. You say, yeah, you go to school, you are showing up, and that begin to bring a big problem into the home. So a man is close to be a manager and a work. So when you start doing that before you get a wife, so sometimes we do it the other way around. And that's why I tell young lady, don't ask a man, do you love me? Wrong question. They tell you to marry you. The correct question is, where are you taking me? Share
Yes,
your
sir.
Do you have plans for your life? Let me hear what plans you have. Do you really have a dream? Let's see whether I can fit into that dream. So, and that's where you will know maybe this man has a plan, and then you said, I will help you to reach there. Let's go together. So if he can't share his plans for life to your conviction, please don't marry him or because of that.
Beautiful. Thank you so much for that. Montana says, how many percentage is your land banking investment? So guys, please, if you have question for me about what we do, send a DM. My team will reply. Conversation tonight focuses more on business challenges as well as indebtedness. Yes, so let's stick to the topic. Tomorrow I'll be going to do a tour of some of our estates, and I will do video and I will tell you what we have and how you can be part of it. But you can send a DM. We answer that. This is a follow-up on the question on bank loan. Can one loan from one friend for an agricultural business that does not include interest?
My idea is, don't even learn from your friend to go into a business that is speculative, because you don't want to lose your friend's money. But if you start with your own capital to do agriculture, and you've done it for 1 year, you see the return it gives you, and you see this business is lacking capital, you can tell your friend, I think I know what to do. I've done it the first 1 year. What I'm lacking is capital. If you can support me, it's hard for anybody to place value to his own money. I tell people the best way to start a business is not going to loan money from bank. First is to ask your friend to loan you money if he has it, and you need to promise him some return on investment, but he's not an investor in your business. Like to say, if you lend me 1 million naira, maybe I will give you 50,000 at the end of the year. One is that if he agreed to lend you that money, he has taken financial risk with you. No, it's not like bank loan, but you have obligation of 50,000 to him. Many times people tell people to dash him money. You can as well tell your friend, look, I don't want you to lend me money. Can you put money into my business? I used to have 3 million naira. I made 300,000 in 1 year. If you put another 2 million here, we may be able to make 500,000. We share. That is a more easy way to have finance, that interest is not running Saturday and Sunday, and you can plan much better. And there are some of your friends who, if they have only 3 million or 2 to put it in the bank is not willing to pay them more than 8% interest. But when they want to lend it to you, whether you want 500,000, they want to lend it to you at 32% or 38%, even though they have collected it at 8% or 6% interest. So, such your friend, you can also tell him, look, I don't know how much bank is telling you, because it's secured, they're obligated to it. But I think I can double whatever bank is paying you. If they're paying you 8%, I can pay you 16%. The only risk you are taking is that maybe there's no guarantee with me. But the guarantee I have is that you know me. And the truth is that I have 5 million naira of my own in that money. You are giving me only 1 million. So I can't lose all the whole money. And the worst case is that I will pay you your own money and manage with the little I have. I am a great advocate that your borrowing should not be more than 20% of your own capital. Unless you have a clear transaction, a business that is transactional. And let me repeat again what I mean by business that is transactional. Stephen has given me a contract to supply 1,000 pieces of bread. And I knew exactly where I'm going to buy the bread. And I know the price I'm going to buy the bread. And I am convinced that if I deliver the bread, Stephen will pay. You can take any amount of loan because you could see the business from beginning point to the end point.
End point, yes.
But you haven't sold bread, and they tell you bread is the hot thing now. Everybody's coming, like Reverend Nigeria is going to buy bread. Don't borrow Stephen's money to go and take a chance in selling bread that you've not sold before. Because take that risk with your own money. Prove it to be real so that even if something extra happen, but you are talking to somebody to give you money on a tested business and something went wrong, but not on a speculative business that your friend tell you can put money and you go take your friend's money to go and speculate, because you lose your own money and you jeopardize the door. One door that could have been open for you to start life again, you've closed it.
Okay. I hope that answers your question. I'll try and see if we can combine these two questions. Is it good or advisable to sell one's property to invest in a business that needs so much money? The second one, let's just combine the two, says, how are your companies navigating this harsh Nigerian economy?
Okay, let me tell you my simple experience. I used to own a very prime property in Onitsha, opposite in Amelwe, with my former partner when we broke up. But I knew what to do. I'm not speculating. Business requires cash. If you have a tested business that can deliver on return, don't be emotional and hold property without putting money into that business. Don't stuff that business of property. I told my partner, please buy. Give me the balance of the money. I want to put it in my business. He said he doesn't. I said, okay, then we have to sell. We sold that property. I put the money back into my business. Yes, I didn't have property in Onitsha again there, but I have other properties in Abuja and other places. So somebody like me, no emotional attachment to anything I earn. If I have a good business that requires capital and I have property to sell, I don't lose breath selling that property. It's like drinking ice water. I let it go. But I cannot sell property to go speculate a business that I'm not tested and I'm not sure. If you tell me now that we can go and mine gold in Ghana, that you have found somebody who show you the gold land, and if we do it and we just buy equipment, we'll be mining gold, I won't sell my property to go and mine gold that I've not mined before.
Beautiful questions.
I don't know if that answered the question. How
Yes.
do I indicate the time we're all here? Like if you have listened to me earlier, it's more tough and challenging for beginners. Let's be honest, but because a company like us have had some observer to observe some shock, and that's why in every business you need to build something like shock absorber in it. When the shock come, it will be able to absorb that shock. So, and that's the kind of reserve you have in your system. But if you don't, the kind of shock, if you have a what we call single capital, this can easily cripple you. But if you are good in management and really scale a little bit down and what you are doing, subject to different kind of business you are in, this is opportunity. If you withstand this season, you have a very big opportunity to grow and become more stronger. So it's a challenging time, I must admit. I won't tell you that even to us, because take for instance somebody like me. I for the first time over 50 years, I also feel, some cash flow constraint. Rolls Royce for us today is 1.4 billion naira. Range Rover is 450 million naira. I told Stephen, your business is now competing with our business because somebody need to. We are now selling only to super rich. Super rich. How many people will spend 450 million naira to buy a Range Rover? If you drive that car out of our showroom and bring it out the following day and say you don't like the color, as far as we are concerned, it's a used car, and you need to take a discount of 25% on it. So even if you don't take 25%, the life of that product actually officially with discount car life maximum 5 years should be net zero book value. So you now see for most startups who place value on their money, they rather go. There are a lot of property you can get today for 450 million naira, in a super place like 4 bedrooms apartment or things like that, and that you are going to have CFO and they held on for. So real estate people are taking chunk of our business. We still have super rich who they will even prefer that Rolls Royce will be 10 10 billion, so that
10 billion.
so that they know they have removed small boys from it. They know when they are driving that they are the people. So those ones don't calculate. They just tell you which color that you have. So, but the truth is that if you are selling 100 before, your volume has reduced to 50 or 20 units.
Yeah.
So even if you don't have other things to do, it's not sustainable because that brand alone cannot carry the overhead of the organization. So you see the benefit of portfolio. Today, our automobile business is running at about 62% of its budget. But Cosmas Technology is running at about 150% of its budget as of October. So by the time we aggregate the ones that are doing well or not, we will be over 80%. Though we are still doing well in the country. But if you are only doing on one segment of product, it's really challenging, subject to what kind of industry that you are on it. Our component business is doing well because many people cannot buy cars today, so they have to repair their old cars and keep it on the road. So it is one of the things we are operating at 98%. Some months we are doing 103 or 4 or 120% of our budget because these people want to repair their car. It's Christmas and keep it in. They can't buy new one. So it balances off again because of the different portfolios we're having. So, but you need a capacity to begin to scale up to be able to have such diverse of briefcase.
Yeah, so I'm very, very, very true. You know, Dr. Cosmos always say we're the one competing with luxury cars, but the challenging part is also we're also battling with the fact that most people can't afford. Affordability is becoming an issue. So you see people say, I can't afford, I need to even buy food, talk less of buying land or house. So in our own case, and that's an advice, we are coming up with more flexible payment structure. For welcome, you can just have your seat. I'll see you shortly. So we're creating a more flexible payment plan for customers to help. We are also coming up with creative ideas. We have a new challenge this Christmas called the Rolls Royce Challenge. So if you buy land or house from us, you are coming for Christmas, we'll pick you up from the airport with a Rolls Royce, and create a lot of content around it, and just create a lot of buzz around the importance of investment. So we're having to be more out there, more visible, just to be able to keep business working. But one of the smart things we also did was to come to the US, expand to the US, even though that's at infant stage. But that guarantees that in the next 5 years, we'll even be carrying money from US to support the Nigerian business.
Sure.
So just like Dr. Cosmo said, you have to think diversification. Some businesses are struggling, but it may be an opportunity to open another sector, and that sector may end up doing better and supporting the existing one that you are doing. So, but the rule is don't give up now, because those who can withstand this tough season, yes, are the ones that end up becoming the big boys in business. Okay. So we have more questions. This one says, thank you for the training, sir. I have read many business books and autobiographies of successful people. I see it's not all start early. Does it mean no one does great things after marriage? Or your question is a bit vague, I'm not sure.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. Yes, because maybe it's responding to the other question that I said. No, you can do great things even after marriage. But what we are saying is that if you have not balanced, your challenges are more. It's a more difficult because you carry some baggages and luggage of those financial, you married a wife, you made a baby. You cannot say I'm under pressure. That baby need a milk, it need a diaper. So you have to provide all of those things. But if assuming you haven't made babies, you don't have a child and say things are difficult and the child will not go to school. You are ruining and damaging the life of that child. And they are not reducing school fees. Even economy is going bad, it's going up. But for you to really believe that child has a future, you need to put him or her in school. So you see, so many times the lifestyle we have that are not planned, one of the silent things that kill people is stress. Stress is not an accident that hits your leg, but something that eats you up. And from here, some of your organs damage. And this is why you find life expectancy finishing at 52, 55, 58, because people have strained themselves. There are things you can avoid if you plan your life very well. You don't need to take certain stress that are totally uncalled for. But if you are a young man and you are single and things run helter way, if it's old vehicle on the road you see, decide to sleep in it, nobody is going to question you. But you can't carry a woman to go and sleep in an old vehicle along the road, in terms of saying this is your struggling moment. You need a home to be able to take that person. So you can still do great things when you get married. But what I'm saying is that if you plan and balance up a little bit, it's much easier to have a more happy and comfortable life than go through unnecessary stress of life that ultimately will shorten your life.
Okay, Peter NG says, do you pay tithe before or after business deal is fully completed? Again, tithe is a profit,
Sure.
right? So you pay tithe on your profit. You can't be paying tithe before a business deal is completed. That's not right at all. Nobody does that. How do you manage policies that work against your business, especially at this present economy? I think we've answered that in a way. How do you handle a situation where regular customers that I do sell to on credit are now defaulting?
Yeah, that's part of the things. Because of the situation now, you need to be a little bit cautious on that. But uh, uh, because cash is a king in every business, you can't afford to give a credit that you cannot recover. Because part of the things you are giving to people are things other people trusted you in, so you can take risk on other people's money. Uh, you need to really weigh your customers and see where their strength is to determine the amount of credit you continue to give in a situation like this. You can't. There's no business that exists without credit. You need to leverage on it to build your customer base and things. But you need to be a little bit more selective and have your due diligence before you do that.
Okay, I run an escrow company. How can I get clients and make them to trust me to handle their transactions?
Very simple. Uh, some of the kind of business people like you do, I don't know how many staff you have, but there are some businesses you do that even to be able to let people see what you do, some of them you do them under pro bono, just to win confidence. They could see that you are authentic. They see the quality of your service. They want it the next time, then they have to pay money. But if you insist uh, that everything must be cash, sometimes you don't even have opportunity. I tell people that service industry, especially where I can render service, you give me money, is the easiest thing to create impression in, because yes, you rob yourself of being paid, but it's not like you have bought something and you are giving that thing you bought away. But because you need to also let people know the quality of your service and what you are able to do for them to assess it at least once, and even tell other people, So uh, if I think that my job is cutting hair, if you, I will be willing to cut some people's hair free, not everybody, but to give you impression that I know how to cut hair, and I can do it very well, and you'll be happy because it, maximum 3 months your hair will grow again.
Yeah.
If you want to come again, if I've given you free before, you can't come again and expect me to give you free. And if I've cut it well and you like it, you more definitely will come back. So sometimes you do such promo in the service industry to build client base and be able to expand your business.
So I hope, Enya, you got advice. One thing I will add also is testimonial videos. So if you have done escrow for someone and it went well, tell them to do a short video. How was your experience with us? And if people can use it nowadays, people trust your customers more than they trust you. So
Absolutely. And that is
yes.
advertisement. All the money you spend in advertisement, there's no advertisement better than a customer telling other customer that I like this people's service.
Exactly. So try that model, it will help. Sojiano says, two questions. One is, Sojiano says, as a person living abroad, what kind of business can I start small in Nigeria? This one, I won't even have doctor answer it, because why are you starting the business in Nigeria when you don't live in Nigeria? What's wrong with figuring out a business to do abroad? A lot of people in diaspora make this mistake a lot of time. Figure out a business you can do where you live, except you have a Nigerian partner that you give equity to. The will feel baboon they work, monkey they chop, baboon they
That's
work.
correct.
Because if you start a business in Nigeria and you don't live here, anybody you put, even if they're able to help you well, they feel at some point they're doing the work, you're enjoying life abroad.
Sydney, let me reframe it a little bit.
Yeah.
In the custom where I hail from, we have this welfare or community development kind of family.
Mm.
I will tell somebody also who, if you can't stay living abroad and start business, but I would say be willing to take a chance of $1,000, $2,000, or $3,000 on your nephew, your uncle, and I will explain the way it works. For where I hail from, if you get your sister's son that is in port, know what to do, and he had done apprenticeship, instead of allowing him to stay the full 5 years or 6 years to get a capital from his boss, you can set him up because he has an idea. He has learned skill, how to trade and make money. But you are not telling him it's working for you because he never planned to work for you. But you tell him, I'm going to bring this money. You start working. We will share profit 50-50. My money compensate for, my money is my seed capital. Your sense is your seed capital. But I will see how you are doing. You can find some of them who are very honest. In 4-5 years, you have recovered your investment and make good money out of it. There are some who will be greedy and cheat you, but you still make money. But one thing you will be proud is that you have set somebody up, a family member, and is helping to solve the problem that is in the house. Than you, every month, you are sending money to this person, you are sending money. Because if somebody actually you feel obligated, instead of keep on sending money to the family, and you are a pipe where they are drowning, if you set that person up, he will be able to take some of the responsibility off of you, in addition that you are earning money from it. So if you don't have comparing reason for doing it, don't stay in America and do business in Nigeria, because it doesn't work. 90% of the people who have tried it are not successful. You can only make investment, buy stock or share in a company you think is doing well, and wait for the return on investment.
Beautiful. Somebody also asked, I've been looking for that question, and it was comparing Japanese to Chinese as regards to integrity from your experience.
You cannot compare Chinese with Japanese in the integrity at all. It's like light and darkness. China is whether you want to believe it, they are not too far away from us Nigerians. I have a lot of people that have lost money in China. They are a well-established organization, but many people who go to China to do business want to go where they can get it cheap. And all of those people you are trying to go to get the business cheap, Chinese standard business, you need to pay 30%. In fact, one of my company, in the Ivory Coast, have paid money to a Chinese company, deposit. The guy said the product is ready for shipment. You need to pay the balance. It's not the first transaction. We pay the balance. We never hear from him again, and no goods was shipped, and we can't trace the guy. My wife also has lost money. So they are not too far away from what you see in Nigeria. So it's not, so don't compare Chinese integrity with Japanese integrity. There's no comparison. Just this, there are people like we're in Nigeria. You can call me a Nigeria. You can call so many other people in Nigeria, and I say I am integrity. Another person will tell you it's Mr. Integrity until you test. So there are a well-established company in China that you can get. In fact, you don't even get Chinese company. Chinese can say he give you exclusivity. Another person just pay him money. He tell him, I will make that one, but I won't call it exact my own name. But you are getting the same product. So they are still going to mature. They are in the process of maturity. But when we see now we have exclusivity for BMW, it's not the same to say you have exclusivity with any Chinese car manufacturer. If you go there and pay him a good money and buy more quantity than me, he's ready to sell to you. They are still money conscious. The principle and the rule for the thing has not happened. BMW, even if you go to Germany and buy a BMW and that car arrive in Nigeria and I report the chassis number, I earn commission for it. They pay me commission on that vehicle that you bought.
Mm.
But for a Chinese company selling to you, it doesn't care what agent or dealer he had. So they are not the same at all. The same thing with a Japanese. A Japanese will refer you to, even if that customer is dormant, he will not take an order from you without his partner endorsing it. So you can only open market you can buy is Dubai, but direct from him, he will never deal with you to you. So if you have exclusivity with them, it means exactly exclusivity.
Beautiful, and that's a good one. By the way, those of you who are talking about books, I've come up with an idea of co-authoring a book with Dr. Cosmas called Scaling Your Business with Integrity. And we probably will then do a roadshow, maybe London, Canada, and sign the book for some people and share part of what we talked about in the book. I think it will help a lot of entrepreneurs. Dr. Cosmos, what do you think?
Yeah, we can discuss it. My greatest challenge is time. So I've been keeping to say I'm planning to, even though I've completely continued to make myself unnecessary, but I've not completely exit my position as CEO of Conscious Organization. The earlier I do that, the better, so I can have time. I really feel the urgency that December 24, I had only 14 years in active position to give to my community. I live and wake up every day with that thought that I want to be very effective in impacting people's life and fertilize the young generation. So the earlier I quit, the better. So, but I don't want to live a life of pressure that things are lying on my table. I need to sign off. I say I'm writing a book because I still don't sleep for 6 hours in a day. So, and I don't want to cut my life short. So my most scarce commodity today is time.
The good news is,
very precious for me. I don't have the report, I don't watch it. I don't listen to all this WhatsApp and message. I don't know what is happening in Israel now or Iraq. So I didn't know what happened in the US election. I knew Trump would win because I don't have time to spend for all of those things. There are other things that are competing for my attention that is important for my life and the community that I live. So I choose things I spend my time on.
The good news is
my time is my life, and it's
good news
very, very
is we'll do it like this. It's just similar to this. We'll use some of what we've gathered from the last interviews.
Yeah.
I will just do interview just like this. I already have transcribers, I have editors, so they will transcribe it, they will edit it, and in 30 days the book is ready. So we'll just do maybe 2 or 3 sessions like this. Around each of the topics. I will share mine, you share yours, then they transcribe, and the book is ready. It's not going to be difficult.
Yeah, it will be.
Because people are asking. I've had like 4 questions now. They are saying, I want to learn more about Dr. Cosmos and Dr. Stephen. I need audio or books about them. Now, for me, I have a lot. So I've written 43 books. Just go to store.stephenakintayo.com. Can you hear me?
It is temporary, but it's back again.
Okay.
Stephen, where you are seeing better than myself, and from the background, because there's no reason why, frankly speaking, at where I am today, that I should not have minimum 5 to 10 books. It's not something I'm very proud of, and I can tell you, way back from the age of 40, people are putting pressure on me, but I just felt there are other things that is important, but it's something I must, for a necessity, start paying, priority to. But it takes me time to start, even with the kind of thing we are doing. But by now, I should
Leave it with me.
have 5
I
or
got you.
10
Leave it
books.
with me, Dr. Cosmos.
Yes.
Leave it with me. I'll make it easier. Because even for me, all my books, I didn't have to write them, like that. I just converted my video courses, so we can easily, all the videos, all the interviews you've done, merge them together and just have you, do a live session like this, ask a few questions, and we'll merge it and it will help. But guys, you can at least start with his book, From Terror to Triumph, by Ambassador William Udo. That gives you an idea. Then go on YouTube. Just Google Dr. Cosmos on YouTube. We now have a YouTube channel for him. So you subscribe to the channel. There's a lot of content we have every day. If you subscribe, you are getting content from Dr. Cosmos. His IG, his LinkedIn, his Twitter, his YouTube. Every day there is constant video, called short clips that will mentor you, about his life, about what he teaches, what he stands for. So at least start with that, and hopefully we'll get the book ready, before my birthday, January 28th, and that gives you even more opportunity. But I'm planning to work with him on his 70th birthday book. I know he's planning to do something special for his autobiography for his 70th. So I'm definitely going to say I'll work with him on that. But at least let's have a book like this, Scaling Your Business with Integrity, because when you look at the Cosmas Maduka, what comes to your mind is integrity in business. But a lot of people don't really understand how integrity in business works, because for some people, they think it then means you won't have challenge, or it then means you won't have situations that will test your integrity. So some people, for example, like the case of the lady where she's lost money, she needs to pay the man back. That doesn't mean she doesn't have integrity.
That's right.
She lacks integrity if she doesn't pick the person's call. If she's running away from the person, that's when she lacks integrity. But she can call the person, talk to him, to give her more time and gradually pay up. That's still business integrity. And we must understand, that. So I'm hoping that the book will help, people learn more about business integrity and how they can even scale their business, using that. So let's trust God for that.
Sure.
Can you guys help me celebrate Dr. Cosmos one more time? We'll probably just take 1 or 2 questions and let him go and rest. It's already 11 p.m. in Nigeria. I'm in US, so I have more time here, but we need to allow him rest. So we'll take 2 more questions. So somebody asked a very vital question earlier. I'm not sure if I can see it. Okay, yes, I've seen it. He said that I'm a young man with land worth 20 million. I was into gas, before I had 2 gas plants, but I was kidnapped.
Wow.
And I lost everything except the land. Now I want to sell the land and start an outdoor lounge. Do you have any advice for me? I really need it. Thank you.
Well, you are going to start an outdoor lounge. You've been in a gas plant business that you tested, you build client, and nothing
Exactly.
on it.
That's the same thing in my mind.
So why do you want to go speculate? There's nothing. I would rather you go back to something you already know, and you know the client base, you know the ins and out on it, as you made money, you scale up. There's nothing that say you start one business and stop there. You need to, the diversification, you can now risk into another one. I would definitely not tell you to sell the land and start something that you have not tried before.
Exactly. In fact, that was the same thing that came to my mind too. I mean, it's only a fool throws away their winning ticket, is what Bishop Oyedepo always say. If something has worked, stick to it, work on it more, grow it, make it better. Look for better ways, be innovative about your gas business, but you know that business well, you've mastered it. I think that's where the only thing is be careful, because you probably may need to change location because of the kidnapping issue you experienced. So you sell the land, raise that capital, move to locations that are a bit safer. It could be another state entirely that is a bit more safer, that you won't be kidnapped just because you have a business and you have all of it go down again. So Oyoyo Nwanyi, Dr. Stephen, please, I'm also interested in your property investment, though not in the US. So all of you asking this question about property investment, just chat me on WhatsApp, right, on DM. So follow me and DM me, and my team will reply you. If I have time, I'll reply, but I have a team who can just answer you. But I probably will give you a number to reach out to on WhatsApp later on. The last question we'll take is from Chine Zengonadi. I hope I pronounced your name well. It says, how did you deal with managing business internationally? What was your first challenge as a young entrepreneur with no clue on managing business internationally?
Very simple. I went into a business that I've been trained. In fact, I spoke yesterday at University of Nigeria, and it was purely the student that I talked to, explaining to them how these things work. And I made a great case, especially for those of them who are in entrepreneurial, they have this section now they created in there are people who are in entrepreneurship, that there should be 1 year, that they should give them like 1 year to go and work, not this youth corp Sunday, work for a typical trader, pure bono, pro bono, to really learn some of the hard skill that they require to run business, in spite of all the soft skill they have showed them in the place, so that they would come out of university equipped. I learned the parts of internal combustion engine. My boss never trained me for international business. I scored and got a letter of a company in Japan that I wrote and tried to do business. The first consignment I made, that's where I run bankruptcy. There was a small business, a number, one digit that were missed, and I got a wrong consignment. And that was a game changer for me. I lost capital for not doing that. But I pick up again because I'm a very determined person. I never say never again. I will never try that. My second importation, I got it right. I made money. The third one, and the kind of money I made is like I double money. And from then I developed, and from there, I continue to hone my skin. It used to be very, because even business, you need business language. When I train my staff today, there are things you don't write in communication in business language. But everything is about desire to be better and to improve in the things you are doing. There's nobody that tell you can't start from ground zero and build it up. So you keep on being good at what you are doing as you are making mistakes and mastering them. And then today, I become a benchmark that there's no school, but I learned from hearing from people, associating with the right kind of people. And I tell young people today, I said, if during the few years we told about COVID, you must stay a certain meter away from a man that has COVID, that it can affect you. If COVID is infectious like that and can catch people, success is also infectious. So the same thing is infectious. So if you sit with people who have mentality of failure and discuss failure, they will infect you. If you sit with people who have desire to succeed and have success disease, they will infect you. So stay on with this kind of discussion. Come around and show that you are desirous to be different. We will infect you, and before you know it, you will catch the same disease we have, which is success.
I like the way you put it. You will catch the same disease. This analogy is so perfect, and I like the way you put it, sir. This is
Yeah.
great. I will appeal that you take this one more question because she's one of my mentee based in the UK. It says, what's your opinion your on getting your business, getting your kids, 15-year-old, to work with you in teaching them savings and business? What's your opinion on that?
Absolutely. That's the best thing that you can. But I'm a great advocate not to wait till a child is 15 years to teach him or her how to save. From the age of 7, you start still teaching children how to save. Saving mentality is part of the thing that people have lost that create part of the problem we have. Give your child money, but tell him you want to know how much he's able to keep out of it by the end of the year. Even get him the means to save money. Part of the things that make us who we are is that during those days we get a tin milk, open it, where we can put coin there and they cannot be able to come out, or buy some on some mold cup box and put in something there. We only break it during the Christmas time and check the money, because we don't even count it. But I'm putting money there anytime I have any spare money, because I want to see it grow. When a child starts seeing his money grow and show excitement from it, from that little child, you will see that child from $100, he wants it to be $1,000. From $1,000, he wants it to be $10,000. And from $10,000, you see him want it to have $50,000 or $100,000. And that's how I grew my wealth, because I have saving mentality. And I started it at a tender age. Before 10, I started saving. So great to get a 15 years children to start saving and mentoring them to be in business. That's the greatest skill you can give your kids. By if they start it at that years and they are familiar with it, by 2025 they're at home with it and you can go home and sleep. I encourage it so much, to start early, because if you haven't had me teach this, I said 86% of successful people became between the age of 15 and 28. In fact, 25. By 30, you are in a borderline. The base, the pyramid base is within this age bracket. If you are 35, 40, you are competing only 14% that is left.
Wow, powerful. Can we all celebrate Dr. Cosmos? This has been an amazing time. For all of you, great question you've asked. The gentleman asking about international business, I hope you got an answer. You try it, you start, you fail, but you keep improving and you don't give up. And I think this has been one of the best episodes we've had from this. This is really, really interesting. I will love I've gotten so many questions I couldn't take on real estate, because today's topic is not on real estate. But you can do, send a WhatsApp chat, not a call. Don't call, please. If you call, you won't get a response. Send a WhatsApp chat on your inquiry, and I'll direct you to someone in the organization or whoever can help you with your request, whether it's you want to be mentored to start real estate, somebody say he needs an advice on a real estate deal he wants to do, whatever it is, send a WhatsApp chat. Again, don't call. WhatsApp chat. State your full name and your request around real estate, and then we'll see how we can guide you. Please help me celebrate Dr. Cosmos. It's a lot he's having to do. And by the way, I want to say this, that you have modeled forgiveness, you've modeled integrity, you've modeled how to be an apostle in the marketplace. When you told me you went for the burial of Senator Ifa Yuba, I mean, that is, come on, guys, can we celebrate Dr. Cosmos one more time? That is what it is, because, and I learned a lot from it, because I remember when your PA told us that we should post the video where you said you no longer have anything against him, everything's okay. I remember asking, I said, are you sure? Are you sure? And thank God you did that when he was alive, because imagine, nobody knew the future.
Sure.
Nobody knew he was going to pass on. And it just teaches again why we should forgive, because we just don't know tomorrow.
Sure.
We just don't know tomorrow. There's no point holding people in our hearts and not forgiving them and not moving on. So thank you for that, because you lived that practically. Everybody could see that, and you still attended his burial. That
actually spoke on his night of tribute, and you need to hear me.
Wow.
Yeah.
Can your PA send me the clip? I would love to post it on your platform.
Yeah.
I think it's a true story that all of us need to learn. I'm not there. I'm still working on forgiving, because I've gotten some very terrible betrayals in business. I'm not there, but at least I'm learning.
Yeah.
I have a mentor to keep praying that God will give you your heart one day.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. God bless you. Have a wonderful day ahead.
Thank you, Stephen.
Yes, sir.
God bless.
Good night, everybody.